Roll Tide, and what a big game it was on Saturday, but it's time to turn the page and get ready for the next big game. A showdown in South Carolina where bad things have happened to Alabama and other ranked teams over the year. Hey, look, the minute you think that South Carolina's dead, you're falling for it. This is a trap game, and no one's going to disagree with me on that. So let's get the show started. All right, guys, there he is. Alphonse Taylor. You know him as Shank. I'm Mick Gillespie. You know me as Mick. Great to see you guys today. All right, Shank, it's a box. It's got a stick. There's a string on there and a piece of cheese in the middle, right? And then as soon as you come in, they pull it, and you're inside the box and you're trapped. This is the perfect trap game.
Sounds like a trap game to me, Mick. Absolutely, man. Hey, absolutely a trap game. Why? Because everybody's going to look at South Carolina's record and they're going to think, oh, we got this in the bag. But any ball knower, and I think we know ball on this show, Mick, any ball knower knows that South Carolina has a really good team. Sellers is a really good quarterback. They've just had some setbacks this season, man. And I don't think we've seen South Carolina play their brand, their best brand of football yet this season. And they're going to continually get better. And so if you think that we're going to line up with South Carolina and just walk the dog without having to be focused, locked in, and dialed in on the important things, the smaller things you need to win a football game, then you better think again, because that is how you get trapped. You got to stay away from that rat poison. You got to understand that this is a team you must respect going into this game, Mick.
Yeah. Well, look, Bama has beaten number 5 Georgia, number 10 Vanderbilt, number 15 Missouri, number 17 Tennessee, and obviously they were ranked higher when Alabama beat them. 3 of the 4 of those teams were undefeated when Alabama beat them, and then, obviously Tennessee with 1 loss in an overtime game against Georgia until Alabama beat them, right? South Carolina 3-4, 1-4 in the SEC. They were a top 15 team to start the season, partly because of how good their quarterback Sellers is. I like hearing this. Deontay Lawson. I think our mindset is still the same. We haven't done anything yet. And I feel like this team, right? Yhonzae said, we can't fall into the trap we did last year. We got to continue to build in this part of the season. Some teams decline at this point. Some teams continue to rise and build forward. I feel like we're on that trajectory going higher. This is where I feel like Alabama fell apart last year.
Yeah, man, absolutely. The late phases of the season, dog. How it goes. It's kind of like March Madness, Mick. It's not about who the best team is. It's about who's the hottest going into the tournament.
Yeah.
Who has the mojo going, who's making shots, who's playing good defense. And so now let's flip that back to football, Mick. I think we did ourselves a favor losing that first game of the season. Why? Because we don't have the privilege to relax. We don't have the privilege to take our foot off the gas, because every game since that first game is either win or go home, Mick. And you can absolutely guarantee they're not going to want to put a 2-loss Alabama in the playoffs. I don't care how many teams they're letting in. If it was 24 teams, Mick, we would have been number 25 and we would have been out of the picture. And so every game for us at this point is either win or go home. And, I don't care if they walk the school of the deaf and blind there, Mick. We better be damn game planning on how to hang 100 on them, because every game is a must win. And we don't get that opportunity to just kind of sit back and relax because, we've been going through the gauntlet. We've won some tough games back to back to back. And now maybe this game will be a little more chill. Not at all. Why? Because South Carolina is still fighting to salvage their season, mate. And there's nothing more scarier than a wounded dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly
I
right.
think, and that's the way we have to look at South Carolina going into this game.
They've been one of those teams who, when you thought they were dead, they come back, right? Some of those wins against Clemson, they've won some really big games under Shane Beamer. Know that Virginia Tech lot of talk that they want Shane Beamer to come there and coach like their dad did. I think he's a really good coach. I think that at South Carolina, there's not a big history of success. I remember Lou Holtz being there and having some success, and Steve Spurrier having a little success there too. But all in all, I mean, they've kind of been like a lower rung team, but then they'll just rise up and beat teams, and I'll never forget Alabama going there in 2010 in the Steven Garcia game. He's just like throwing all these touchdowns. Nobody could stop him. They beat Alabama, right? They had some good players. Last year, thought we had them beat, and all of a sudden at the end of the game had to hold on for dear life. This is one of those games where if you're not prepared, you're going to lose. And then Vegas, like we talk about Pearl River, we're brought to you guys by Pearl River over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Timeout Sports Lounge is a Vegas-style sports book. It's like when I was out in Vegas 2 weeks ago. You can go in there. It's actually better. 20 big screen TVs, full-size bar. You got the windows and the kiosks, everything you need there, tables for an easy trip, hour and a half from Tuscaloosa to James from Birmingham. The spread was like 13.5, and it's down to 11.5. All the money's going on South Carolina. Bama's won 4 straight grueling games. I mean, grueling games. This one just feels like it's going to be a tight one.
Yeah, man, and it's South Carolina is probably the worst team to have to play coming out of this stretch, man. It's just because they're a physical football team. Their quarterback has the ability to run the ball or put it in the air. And at the end of the day, they're an SEC team, man. We spent so long looking down on Vanderbilt, and look where that got us, right?
Yeah.
They're a competitor in the SEC now. And,
you're good.
Pause me. Yeah, and so, man, South Carolina's a physical football team, and it'll be a tough matchup, especially after the stretch we've had, man. We've had some injuries that bugged us. I'm sure some guys are banged up, but honestly, Mick, at this point in the season, who doesn't have guys that aren't banged up? You know what I'm saying? So, as long as we're well prepared and understand the type of football team we're going in to play Saturday, I think we have a good chance of getting the result that we want, man. But it's all about our preparation and giving South Carolina the respect they deserve,
Yeah.
bad record or not. You know what I'm saying? So, because at the end of the day, you may look at that record and think they're a bad team, but how embarrassing would it be to lose to a 1-4 SEC team, right?
Yeah. Or just lose after playing that well. You go 4 weeks and you play that kind of football. And then all of a sudden you lose, and it's like, hey, I built all this up for nothing, right? And you don't want to see that either.
No, absolutely, man. And so I think if we continue along the trend that we've had, Mick, we've continuously gotten better each game. We've improved each game. Our main guys are showing up when we need them to show up. We're setting ourselves up for a good playoff run, Mick. We got to finish this back half of the season. We got some really tough games coming up, but it starts here with South Carolina.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, make sure that you take advantage of our promo code Bama Tailgate. That'll get you 20% off at New Life Art. And you can see at the bottom of the screen some of those great prints. I've got a whole wall of them over here. We got Shank hooked up as well. And look, you got Crispy Screen. That is an offensive lineman. Yeah, we're wondering why Coker didn't throw the ball to Shank, and Coker said, just add you to the list of people that said they didn't get the ball enough. You would have scored, though.
To his defense, man, I had to spend all my focus on actually blocking, for Christ's sake. They ain't gonna lie, we had our boy Coker running for his life from time to time.
Did you?
we did, man. I always think back to that Texas A&M game where he runs that guy over on the sideline. I was just like, damn, what do we do to make him scramble like that? We must have missed block. We must have missed a block somewhere.
It's hope it wasn't you.
Yeah, I pray it wasn't me. Yeah, probably was. I was a run guy.
You just like to open holes for a Heisman Trophy winner and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, man. My kids definitely ain't coming to me about my pass, bro. It's always a pancake or something, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's always in the run game. They be like, God, Coach Shank, I ain't know you was like that. Then they see a pass pro rep, and it's just like, Hey man, you gotta pick and choose your poison, man.
Well, guys, you can take advantage of that crispy screen down there, and a lot of other great prints. Ryan Williams making his catch against Georgia last year. NewLifeArt.com, promo code Bama Tailgate. One of the
Nice.
best things about sports is taking advantage of the opportunities that you get when you get those opportunities, right? And so one of the scariest things is when you lose guys that you need, right? And,
Right.
and the reason I'm talking about that is Bama's had some injuries at the Wolf linebacker position. Quay Russaw, Jamarian Latham, both out right now. But it was Yhonzae Pierre who was the star on defense of the Tennessee game. He might not have really played that much had those guys been in the game. So he took advantage of his opportunity. You saw number 42 all over the place in the
Absolutely.
backfield. That is a great thing for Alabama. You know, obviously we want those guys to get back and healthy, but taking advantage of opportunities when you're given those opportunities. You played at Alabama on the offensive line. You had to wait your turn. What was it like when you got those opportunities? And what did you think of Pierre on Saturday against Tennessee?
Man, we'll start with what I thought about Pierre. Like that is absolutely what our defense has been missing, Mick. We've been missing that dominant pass rush. Guys that just make it hell on the opposing quarterbacks. And 3 sacks, man. Is that correct? He had 3 sacks in that
Mm-hmm.
game. He's
Yeah.
just like, come on, man. When's the last time we seen a guy that had 3 sacks in the Alabama football game, Mick? And that's the type of defensive pressure we need
Mm-hmm.
going into the back half of this season, man. We talk about the things our defense we can't do and the big plays we give up. Yeah, that's fine. But when we can get a guy, we can only rush three, rush four, and then we end up with 3 sacks, Mick. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And that's credit to Kane. That's credit to the coaching staff for having faith in that guy. And because even when it's a next man up situation, Mick, you know how vanilla coaches can keep it because they're scared of getting beat on the back end. They're scared that a guy doesn't know what's going on. But for him to get that opportunity and go in there and play the way that he did, man, eh, regardless of the injured guys come back, we have to keep him on the field, Mick, because we haven't seen anything like that this entire season. And to have 3 sacks in one of the biggest games of the season against one of the worst teams on our schedule, and not from a schematic standpoint, I just hate those folks, man. I just hate them, absolutely hate them. And it couldn't happen on a better night, man.
Mm-mm.
And we have to find a way to keep that kid in the game and keep sending him out the quarterback because he gets there. And he gets there. And that's what we need on this defense to push us to that next level, man. We got to get some pass rush on the quarterback, man. And lo and behold, once you get pass rush on the quarterback, Mick, it's going to start forcing quarterbacks to get the ball out of their hands before they're ready. It's going to start forcing more turnovers defensively, and that's going to lead to more defensive points scored. And,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think we took a huge leap in that Tennessee game. We scored points defensively off a turnover. We got 3 sacks on Tennessee's quarterback. And now if we can build on that going into the South Carolina game, Mick, my God, the sky's the limits for this defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you talking about adding those other guys back that were injured. My biggest thing, Mick, is that when a guy's hurt and another guy comes in and plays that way, it absolutely fuels the guys that are coming back.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they don't want to lose their spots and they don't want to be seen as the guys that's holding
Mm-mm.
this defense back.
Mm-mm.
And so it's a beautiful thing to see, man, because iron sharpens iron, Mick. And when you get that type of a performance from a backup guy, that puts people on notice, man. That makes people lock in and focus, just like, all right, let me get my shit together because it's getting real around here.
Yeah.
And,
Great way to put it. Yeah, I
and
agree with you 100%. I mean, and the other thing too is, you know how it is. You play competitive sports. When you see someone else showing out like that, you're thinking to yourself like, "Hey, I want to show out like that too, man. I want to I want to help him, or I want to make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do to help the team win." Right?
absolutely. And as a guy who I waited my turn to get my start, man. Once I got in that position, I wanted to do everything physically possible in my ability to never give it back. And
Yeah.
it's just like because I talk to my guys all the time. You know, they hear I'm a two-time national champ, did all this stuff at Bama. And I was like, nobody ever tells y'all the grind that goes on behind the scenes. Like, I waited 3 years, I busted my ass for 3 years just for an opportunity. And so if you think once I get that opportunity, I'm gonna just give it back, man, you're sorely mistaken. And I think Pierre is along the same lines. He has no intentions of giving that spot back with that performance against Tennessee, man.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to take him out no matter who's there. And hopefully he continues that at South Carolina. Hey, don't forget to sign up for AveD, Mick Nation. There's the QR code right there. Got a lot of games. You can pick Bama, South Carolina, the World Series. We got some NFL games that are there as well. We got swag. Swag. We've been giving this away. You can win these. You got to be part of our AveD. And you got to comment. You got to comment here as well. So you got to be part of both of them. But it's free. We give away cash prizes each week. We gave away tickets to Wisconsin. We're going to do that again as well as we move down the season and get ready for South Carolina and then some big games at home. LSU, Oklahoma, and then we'll finish the season up at Auburn. All right, final thing on today's show. I love doing this. I call it fun with Kalshi. You guys know that it's been cool to kind of be part of Kalshi, which is basically it's like an exchange. It's like a federally regulated prediction market, right? And when you see like the news, like when the elections are going on and they show you like what candidate is winning prediction wise, that's where they're going to get it. They're going to Kalshi. It's the biggest of the of all of the prediction markets. It's legal in all 50 states. You get great odds, no house vig. Prices are set by supply and demand. No limits. Talk about this each week. Winners don't get cut off. Live trading, not blocked mid-game. Flexibility, cash out anytime. Transparent pricing. Watch the odds move over time. And it's not just, it's not just football. It's politics, economy, Oscars, Grammys, pop culture, all of that stuff. And so, we do the live market stuff. And right now, our deal is this, that if you sign up, and I want to put this on the screen and try this, you get $10 when you use the promo code Bama Tailgate when you put $100 down at Kalshi.com and play that. All right, so let's play our game here, Shank. And I want to start with the Heisman Trophy race. There's been over $1 million, $1.3 million played on the Heisman Trophy winner right now.
Ooh-wee.
Who do you have? Who? Well, let me ask you this. I know who you're going to say you have winning. Who do you think is leading right now for the Heisman Trophy?
Oh, got to be Ty after that last game.
So
I'd expect Ty.
You'd expect Ty. Ty was the leader. And now he's got some stiff competition with Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback at Indiana. Look at that race, though. Julian Sand was in our program and transferred to Ohio State. Diego Pavia is on the rise after his game against LSU. He did the Heisman pose. If it's not Ty, who worries you the most as far as if you were Ty for getting this award? There's Hunter Stockton in there.
Man, I think Mendoza would probably be my biggest competition just because what he's doing at Indiana. We're talking about Indiana here. I don't think Pavia is much of a threat to us because head to head we've already knocked him out, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think he'd be any competition. Julian Sand, he's at what, Ohio State now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ohio State. Ohio State's always gonna have a guy up for the Heisman, but Mendoza and what they're doing at Indiana is something special right now, man. It's just the way they're competing, winning games. That'll definitely be the biggest competition for Ty, just off it being Indiana alone, because nobody expected this, right?
Yeah. All right, next one, we're going to switch gears now, and we're going to talk about the number one searched person on Google this year. Number one searched person on Google. I'm going to give you a list. Well, you tell me just off the top of your head who you think, and then I'll give you a list of the top contenders, and then you tell me what you think.
Donald Trump, Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, and Drake.
Okay,
Those would be.
let me put you up there. You're close, man. You got look, Donald Trump, President Trump is going to be always going to be there, right? Doesn't matter who president is. So he's 21%. How about Pope Leo from Chicago, the White Sox fan? 28%.
My boy from the side. My boy brought the gospel to the Vatican. I love it.
Elon Musk is right now third. How about Kendrick Lamar? Are you surprised that he's number 4 on this list?
Yeah, that's super odd at this point. I thought the hype behind Kendrick and that whole Drake beef would have died down by now, but I guess people are still interested in what's going on, man. So Kendrick's a little shocker for me there.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk is at 4%. I would figure he'd be a little higher on that list, but that's definitely a fun one to get into. The Pope, though, over President Trump. All right, last one here. This one is a little more pressing. This is a yes or no. I don't even want to put it up here until you tell me. Will a major meteor strike hit Earth before 2030? So it would take a while to get your money on this one.
I'm gonna go no on that one. I'm gonna go no.
For the sake of mankind. Please no.
for the love of God, no. Please.
Look how close it is, though. $37,000 has been played on this. 49 cents to the dollar. Yes. 57 cents on the dollar. No, so he's the majority, you're saying. But what would constitute a major strike? I mean, it doesn't have to be a crater that kills humanity, but I saw in Unsolved Mysteries that around 1910 a meteor hit like somewhere in Russia. It's like a bomb exploding. There's meteor showers all the time. So all right, guys, that's Kalshi. Again, Kalshi.com. Use the promo code Bama Tailgate, $10 when you sign up with our link. And that is Bama Tailgate, and you play $100. Shank, any final thoughts on this Bama South Carolina matchup?
Oh man, don't drink the rat poison, man. You know how tough the SEC can be. No games are given, unless it's ULM, who we all know that Mick hates. But other than that, man, I hope they come ready, prepared to go, man. I think it'll be a physical football game, a grimy matchup. But I think Bama comes out on top 35-14. That's my final prediction.
All right. Well, there he is. Shank, have a great week. We'll talk to you on Sunday. Roll Tide, everybody. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Here's our spokesman, the Honorable Jake Coach.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll!
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.